Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about how you should always give a ballpark. One of my biggest pet peeves when I work with developers is trying to get an estimate, which makes sense because that's one of the biggest pet peeves that my employers used to have with me. Eric, how long would this take? And I could actually go through like an entire meeting and never give them an estimate of how long I think it would take. Because as a developer, that's when you commit to timescales, that's when they start adding in all the scope creep and everything like that, and you have to be really careful about that kind of stuff. And plus, you know, you might say something will take 10 minutes and then you find out later it'll take 4 hours, and I mean that's your currency when you're working for someone else, right? But one of my pet peeves when working with other developers is that I just can't get those estimates from them. The other day I sent a development company I work with all the time, I sent them a 17-page requirement document that I'd spent the entire week drawing up, saying this is what we need to do. It had like wireframe screenshots, architecture diagrams, exactly how the code should look, because I know I've done this before, right? And their response was, can we have a meeting? Can we meet for an hour and discuss these requirements? So I was like, God, just tell me how much it's gonna cost, right? Early on when I started doing client work, this is what I would do too, right? I would never want to give a price when I was talking to somebody. Someone would call me up saying, hey, we need this app, you know, can you help us do this kind of app? How much would it cost? And my response would be, I think we need to meet up. You know, can we schedule a meeting? Can I go visit you guys? All this kind of stuff. And really, they didn't even know where they were going with it. And so what they didn't want was for me to go visit their office, take up time, drink their coffee, whatever, and then they find out they didn't even know the ballpark. So they might be thinking, we want an app that would cost £1,000, and I might think it costs $10,000, right? And there was no reason for us to get together and meet. So one of the things, and I've talked about this before, was I got really good at giving the ballpark on the first meeting. Right, if you ever watch Grant Cardone, I'm a big Grant Cardone fan for like the last 5 years or so. I've read all the books, you know, watched the social media, do the online courses and everything. And one of the things that he said was, always write up a proposal. Every time you meet with a prospect, write up a proposal. Now, when you're doing software development that's bespoke, that's not always easy to do because sometimes you have, every project is different and it's not always possible, but you should always be able to give a ballpark on every meeting with a client, right? Because the fear is, and I know this because I used to have this fear too, the fear is that you're going to come in too high. You might scare them away because you come with too high a ballpark. But they're going to find that out anyway, right? The best thing to do is to not waste anyone's time. So, like I said, every meeting I have with someone, that first meeting, we have a ballpark. Unless there is something that I just really need to research. Like the only time this really happens lately is because if they say, Eric, we have this thing, it's like Uber, or they'll say some popular app that's out there that it's similar to, and my whole thing is, well, I think it would cost this much to do, thinking about the back end, the front end, and I'll walk through how it should work. But then I'll think, you know what, there may be code templates out there already. This is one of the things we might be able to go on Chupa Mobile and find something that does everything for you already, and then we're just talking about a reskinning job. That's the only time where I don't give the ballpark right away, but I'll still give the first one, right? To me, like I said, most of the projects are like 6,000 to 8,000. Sometimes they're 15 to 20. Sometimes they're 25 to 30. But you have to be able to give those ballparks early on because that's the one thing that everyone wants to know. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful today. I hope you guys are having a great day again today. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.